pros and 4 cons about the 2021 MT07. I thought I would shoot a quick video, the 4 pros and 4 cons about these the 2021 MT07. Had the bike for quite a while now, and about a year or so, maybe a little less. And I thought I would share some of my thoughts about it with you guys. And I do like this bike. So first up is the motor, the torque on this. I mean, we're in 4th gear here, right? 55 miles an hour. It's just got it all over the place. And yeah, if you want to do wheelies, this is your machine. I hope the GoPro's looking pretty good here at dusk. Guess we'll find out afterwards. But yeah, woo, man, that thing is just, it just picks up and goes, man. The torque is just excellent on this bike. If you haven't ridden one, you need to try it. Go to a demo day or have a friend who has one or something like that. You need to at least try it for a few minutes, because the torque on this, it's just a 700, but man, it is incredible. Alright, so the next up, pro number 2 is the flickability. So yeah, check this out. This is more flickable than anything I've owned, and I've owned a bunch of stuff, you know, from the MT10, the BMW S1000R, the CB1000R I've got right now, the Speed Triple. I've had a couple Speed Triples. Yeah, it's just the most flickable. Even the little 80s Hondas that I had, like the CM400, this thing is just unbelievable. What really helps too, I think, is the big Pro Taper bars that are on this bike. It really gives you a lot of leverage, so that's probably, I'm sure that's part of it. But yeah, with these Pro Tapers, I mean, that's my experience. That's what's on this bike. It's seriously flickable. All right, next up is the headlight. Here's the brights. I don't know if you can tell here at dusk, but here's regular beams, brights, regular beams. See up on that sign up there, brights. So the headlight is excellent on this, especially when it's really dark out. It's great. Like, it's almost as good as the dual headlights in my Speed Triple. It's real close. This has that big like LED light on it, you know, because it's 21, so it's got the new face on it, the single like transformer looking face, you know, headlight. Yeah, the headlight is. It just seems like I didn't think about that a couple years ago, like, but then I started doing a lot of night rides and like midnight rides and stuff like that, and I really appreciate a good headlight. I mean, it really makes a difference, especially if you're going to be planning on riding at night here. That was a little quick stop there. Let's get a little maybe a little wheelie. A big wheelie guy, but anyway, if you want to do wheelies in this, you can. A lot of guys do, but it does power wheelies and such too, though. All right, power wheelies in 1st and 2nd gear, I do believe. So pro number 4 here is the ergonomics on this bike. The seat is surprisingly good. Like surprisingly good for this kind of bike. I really do enjoy it. And the foot position on this is more like what's been described as supermoto. Like your feet aren't back. They're kind of like a standard bike, kind of right beneath you, which I like. It's really comfortable. You could mod the foot pegs here instead of rubber on the bottom to put, you know, metal so your boots would stick better to them under aggressive riding situations. This Pro Taper bar is a little too far forward for me. I believe that this brings the seating position forward. So the standard bars, though, I believe are back further, so you're more, you know, you're more back. You're sitting upright is what I'm saying. So get another little straight going on here. We are in 1st gear. Oh yeah, little power wheelie there. excellent on this bike, very comfortable. Seat's good, pegs are in the right spot. The Pro Taper bars like more aggressive, but the standard bars would be less so if that's what you're looking for. Just being careful over the blind riser, sometimes there's deer at the bottom of this. Nope. All right, let's get into the cons. We got some cons here. So the brakes, unfortunately the stock brakes on this, especially with these levers, these are like inexpensive aftermarket levers that the previous owner put on, but I'll demonstrate up here. The brakes are not that great. They're okay, don't get me wrong, they stop the bike, but they're not, yeah, there's no one behind me, so like you press into the brake there, now it's biting, and now it's slowing me down. But there's like no, I don't know how else to describe it, there's very little initial bite. It's like, these are probably the most vague feeling brakes I've ever owned on a bike. Like compared to like my Speed Triple, which I know is not a fair comparison because the price difference between those two bikes, or these two bikes, but that has like a bite. And yeah, they're Brembos, but even the Tokikos on my CB1000R in my 2011, those have more bite. This is just such a vague, like, they're fine, you get used to them, I mean, they work, but it's such a vague feeling. It's kind of, it takes, let's just say it takes some getting used to, right? You could change the master cylinder out and such too if you wanted to. The rear brakes, I actually like the rear brakes on this bike way more than the Speed Triple. The Speed Triple, like, it's like nothing rear brake, like on, full on. This is the rear brake in this bike. I actually prefer this over the Speed Triple's rear brake. Strange, right? Who would have thought? But the rear brake on this is actually quite good. I like the feel of it. The front brake, which, you know, is the more important one, unfortunately, is not real great. So, okay. The next one would say is the twitchy handling. So the flickability is amazing on this bike, but the side effect is, at least with these bars, it's like twitchy. So when you're, it's like when you're leaned over, it doesn't stay, it's really easy to get out of your line, if that makes sense. And we'll go into number 3 with this, is the suspension. So I think part of these 2 and 3 kind of work together. The number 3 con is the suspension, because the suspension's kind of bouncy in this bike, and combined with the handling being real light, it makes for like an unsure cornering experience, at least with these tires. These are like Michelin pilots on here. And the tires are good though. I do like the stick of these tires. It's just the combination of the wide bars and the squishy, I mean, don't get me wrong, the suspension is really comfortable for like regular road riding. This is a good city bike, excellent city bike. But when you're trying to hit it hard on the back roads, it's just like, it kind of starts to fall apart with the standard suspension. So if you upgraded the suspension, I know a guy locally here, if you're in the Marshfield area in Wisconsin, Kyle Boost, he's done suspension upgrades on MT07s, and he said they make a massive difference. And he can do yours too. He's got reasonable rates, and he said it makes a huge difference. Oh man, this the pull on this thing for a 700 is nuts. But yeah, so the stock suspension has been talked about ad nauseum on the internet, is not fantastic, but it's not the worst. It's not like the worst thing either, and you can pick these up used for a good deal compared to a lot of other stuff out there. So I mean, I hate to niggle on it for that. It's fine if you're not gonna like go nuts with it. You're gonna ride like sanely. It's fine. It's just that it does have fork dive under braking. Like, see, like it does have fork dive. And then if you hit a bump mid corner, it's not fantastic. Like if you hit like a significant bump. But I don't want you guys to think I'm crapping on it. I mean, it's a super fun motorcycle. It's just, these are the cons, right? All right. So con number 4 is, as you would probably suspect, it's not great on the highway. It can do it, but I would say it was not designed for that function, right? Obviously it's a naked bike, so you're going to get a lot of wind. And then combined with the way the handling is, like the twitchy handling, it's not very stable on the highway. It like going 70, 75 miles an hour. It just like a truck goes by or something. Plus the bike's light, it's 400 pounds or whatever, which is great in some circumstances, but not on the freeway, in my opinion. We got some traffic out here tonight. So it is getting dark out here. You guys are probably not able to see a whole lot anymore. It'll be interesting to see how this footage turns out. But those are a few of my pros and cons of this bike after owning it for about a year. But I really cannot say enough about the torque, about this motor, and the sound. Like, listen to this thing. You guys have been hearing it the whole time, but like, the Akrapovic exhaust on this, that's in my walk-around video too. But man, like, this thing sounds excellent, and the motor is really like where it's at with this bike. The sound and like the torque, and it's quite a thing to behold, just being a two-cylinder parallel, you know, motor, like, to sound like this and to feel like this, it's you need to go out and try one. So get out there and try one of these guys. But I appreciate you guys as always. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit all the buttons if you enjoyed this content and want to see more of it. And we'll be having some more bikes here on the channel. I'll be getting some more CB1000R content out to you guys pretty soon here. And I think before this you should see some more Speed Triple content. But yeah, okay, we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining me again. See you next time. Bye, everybody.